GearNetwork.com.
The following is a presentation of the Gear Radio Network.
Listen here, Pumpkinhead. This is the American Dream Dusty Rhodes, and you are listening to my favorite podcast. Oh, baby, it helps me win so much money. You are listening to Chaz and Jay on the Fantasy Football Bros podcast. It's the American Dream, and they are living it.
Here we go. Hey, everything on three. Number three. Wait on one. Oh, wait on three. 1, 2, 3. I have a mixed up in that. Eyes on three. Everything on 3, 1. Everything.
You are now listening to the Fantasy Football Bros podcast.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Fantasy Football Bros podcast. It's your boy.
All I do is win, no matter what.
Chaz, we got a full house today. We are joined by, to my virtual right, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Jay Colvin. Jay, what's up, dog?
What's up, boys?
I don't know, but at least on my screen, you guys are not pointing the right way. So
he's down for me.
He's over here for me.
Yeah, he's below for me. I'm to the right of Chaz, so it was.
Well, apparently, sure. Jay, you're their bottom. That's all I'm seeing right now.
Yeah.
Actually, who's my bottom right now? We got the no nickname, no nonsense.
It doesn't matter what your name.
My!
Adam Van Hal.
I am actually the other way. Dave is below you, but hey, dudes, how's it going, guys? What's up? Welcome.
And then, of course, the most important member of the show, we've got
Pickles on my pickles.
She's right here. Come on, stand up there. Oh,
there's a tail.
Look at that ass.
Look at that ass. And yeah, of course, we got the fantasy football surgeon.
Hey, like a surgeon.
From the Let's Talk Nerdy podcast, we got Zags. What's up, man?
What's up, boys? How's it going?
It's going good. We got our second week doing our brand new wave recording. I brought back Chaz's rock record review for everybody. It's because it's been a while. 5 months off, but a busy summer and then fantasy football season. We'll do that for you. But
you're a busy man.
A busy man.
Apparently,
a man of many talents.
For
big
sure.
News, Adam. How do you like the new Fortnite map?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I kind of dig it. I kind of dig it.
I like it.
I'm a big fan of it. I love how Fortnite updates their shit. It's just so good.
It's fun. And that's the podcast, everybody, this week. Thanks for joining
Nerds.
Fantasy Fortnite Bros. Fantasy Fortnite Bros.
I love real quick that I'll be just like so juiced on something and I share it in a group chat and everybody's like, oh, that's sick. And then Jay's just like, fucking nerd.
That's his response to anything.
Just
fucking
anything.
nerds.
Oh, I do have to watch your latest episode still. I saw you guys put another little short out about, or not a short, but a smaller video out about the new South Park game.
New South Park game, yeah. Review is up. I did not have good things to say about it. The first time that we talked about it, and second time it has not changed. So
do you played it? I didn't watch the review yet.
If you want a real quick, just like kind of synopsis of like why I hate it. I don't know if have you guys played the original first two games?
That's what I was going to say. Those two games, the Fractured Butthole and the Stick of Truth, are in my top 10 probably of like modern games of all time.
Fan-fucking-tastic.
Yep.
Absolutely love the games, right? And then this third installment that we're getting is now turning into what I kind of feel is a little bit of a cash grab, and we're no longer getting the storyline like we were getting in the first two games. This is now a multiplayer co-op brawler with very little storyline, where I just feel like you're going to load in with three of your friends and you're going to go just take on like horde brawler situations with very little storyline. And I'm not about it. I'm very upset, and I let it be known. Well,
South Park and the video game franchise.
Rip.
it's basically become like 90% of all video game franchises. It's cash grab.
When you mean online brawler, like is that like Smash Brothers kind of?
Think of it almost like the way that I kind of think of it is almost Fortnite would be kind of hard to explain, but think of it like you're loading in with 3 of your friends and you're going into a quote unquote base. Like Call of Duty Zombies, where it's just like waves of zombies. Like you and 3 of your friends are going to play as South Park characters, go into this base where other South Park characters, CPU characters, by the way, are just going to be attacking you. And the main mission is just to eliminate all of the enemies. And you're just going to be... You're going to keep doing this just over and over and over. So all that great storyline that we were getting in the Stick of Truth and the Fractured Butthole, all the funny things that you love about South Park, pretty much gone. This is basically just going to be, you're going to load in to a matchmaking situation, kill some enemies, and jump out with no storyline, and just continuously do this over and over and over.
I'm out on it.
That doesn't sound like fun.
We're
at all.
Speaking of video games, tomorrow we're getting a Call of Duty competitor game tomorrow.
The hell? Oh, I thought you were saying Call of Duty competitive. But what is a Call of Duty competitor?
Tarkov Arena is coming out tomorrow, it's basically I don't know if you guys know about Tarkov, but it's like
I've heard of it.
Super realistic, military style ish, first person shooter.
You can only play in Russia or something, right?
No, you can play it here.
Oh, okay.
They're from Russia, so they're coming out tomorrow. It's Arena, and it's basically kind of almost like Call of Duty, and they're planning on turning it into an esport game as well. So it's potential to be probably Call of Duty's only real competitor.
Well, you know what that means.
That makes sense. 'Cause he's done. Well, we did get a new Warzone map today. So he's done. Yeah, I mean he's on the bye week, just living it up.
And so Adam from the Let's Talk Nerdy podcast. This was our new audition to replace Dave on the podcast. Like we can talk video games too, bro.
I'm sure he'd be more than happy to get rid of me.
Do we need to touch on the Von Miller situation, guys? I mean,
I don't care.
I mean, besides that, the Bills just dog shit handling of it. Yeah.
Is it any better or worse than Matt Ariza? Matt Ariza, they go run and cut him, and the guy's innocent. And for Von Miller, they're saying, "Hey, let's wait."
I don't even mean by they should cut him or anything. They should just stay home. You're getting paid either way. It's not like he's making an impact on the field anyway. So
very true.
You might as well just stay home.
Facts. Yeah,
very true.
I agree with that, Jay. I totally agree. And it's not. I mean, Matt Ariza is different because he. I mean, is it really that different? But he was a nobody as a punter. Nobody really cared. They made the right decision on that one. But yeah, with the whole Von Miller thing, the reason why we can't cut him, for those of you who don't know, we have a stupid, ridiculous amount of money into him, and we can't cut him to get rid of it because we'll end up paying him, I think, more for cutting him than he's even worth. Sure. So, but I agree, the handling of it is a little rough for me. Like anything that comes out like that, you see all these guys, they get in trouble, they get fined, they get cut. But for Von Miller, the least you could do is just be like, all right, dude, we can't have you around the facilities right now while this shit's going on. So just stay home. You're getting your money. Don't be anywhere near us.
Yeah. Bean's excuse was just weak, in my opinion. He was just like, well, we can't make everyone happy. So, just have them stay home.
Well, you're right about I'm all for letting legal processes take. I mean, even during Deshaun Watson, that's what I was saying then. But you're right. He's not making an impact. He might as well be a third string. So keep him away, right? I told you. You're right. You're totally right about that. I mean, he might as well be Leonard Floyd's backup right now, right? He might as well be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd much rather have Leonard Floyd out there anyway, who's been making an even better impact than Von did even last year and beginning of this year before he got injured again.
And at this point, he's only taken reps away from Kingsley, so...
Right. True.
I mean...
I think the other big news in fantasy football land, other than some injuries, is the rich getting richer and the Eagles signing Shaquille Leonard. Like, come on.
Yeah, fucking ridiculous.
Come on. Didn't we need a linebacker?
Dude, I was blown away by Indy cutting him to begin with. It's just, I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know why. But yeah, for them to now the Eagles, who I said it before we started recording, a very good defense, got even better.
Yeah, 100%.
To be fair, and to give them to give the NFL a little credit, maybe we're wrong because the dude cleared waivers and didn't get signed for 2 weeks. Maybe he's not.
Yeah, that's wild to me too.
Right? Maybe he's not as good as he was. Maybe something.
Or
right?
he wanted too much money and teams didn't want to pay him.
But if
who knows?
they claimed him off of waivers,
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
right? Like nobody claimed him for waivers. So I don't know. That's really the only news. There was a bunch of injuries. I think the major. What's the major one coming out of the week?
Ramondre Stevenson.
Ramondre Stevenson, but the Ramondre Stevenson.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah,
and
Trevor Lawrence. Yep, Christian Kirk
too.
Yeah.
Who is on my fantasy team?
Hayden Hurst is all fucked up.
Hayden Hurst is in real bad shape. Dementia or something from a hit.
Yeah, it's like a post concussion something.
Amnesia. Concussion amnesia from a hit. Like that sounds like a lot.
Yeah,
Right.
that's a lot. I do want to just ask a question real quick though. Now that waivers have cleared, who do you guys think was the top pickup of the week? Were you guys heavier on Zeke or you guys heavier on Zay Jones?
Zay Jones. I would have if he was not available in any of my leagues, but I looked for him because he's gonna because Christian Kirk was doing good. Right,
Yep.
And Zay Jones is stepping into that role where Ramondre Stevenson wasn't necessarily doing good, and Zeke. I don't know. I guess it depends on what you need, but if I had to rank them, I would have had Zay Jones.
Same.
So for me, it was Zeke, and the only reason is none of their quarterbacks can throw the ball, and I expect Zeke to get a lot of volume, and volume always turns into points. Not always, but for the most part. In theory, it should turn into a lot of points. And they play Pittsburgh. They've been kind of spotty on the run defense lately. I don't know. I went with Zeke. I actually have Zeke in the Fantasy Football Bros podcast league, so I was all set there.
Nice. Yeah. Any other news to get on before we get into the review that I'm missing? Trevor Lawrence, you guys, you probably are not going to have Trevor Lawrence or Ramondre Stevenson and Christian Kirk for the rest of your fantasy season. So,
yeah, probably.
For some leagues, playoffs are next week, so you're definitely not going to have any of those guys.
Dave, do you know of anybody that had Joe Burrow and then traded for Trevor Lawrence?
No.
I believe you did, didn't you?
No.
I thought you did in our other league where you had Burrow and then you made a trade for Lawrence. I thought I could be off. I'm pretty sure that's
the other league.
Yeah.
Did I do that?
I think you did that.
Did I do that?
Did you just turn into Urkel? Can I do that?
Oh, motherfucker! I did do that. Fuck that league, bro. Fuck that league.
Are you the fantasy football reaper now? You're not the surgeon anymore?
I don't know what it is because I got Christian Kirk in that league too. Is just sitting there with a nice sitting next to his name. So yeah.
Here's Dave in that league.
Yeah, well, that league went to shit as soon as I took your advice and took Bijan. So.
Oh my goodness! How'd your first round running back do in that league?
Oh, we're gonna talk about him.
Yeah, so
we're gonna talk about this motherfucker. Get your fucking ass off Twitch and jump over to YouTube because I got some shit to say to you fucking asshat.
Oh, you know what you should do when this comes out as a clip?
Dave
just tag it to his. Tag it to his Twitter. He'll definitely look at it.
I went into his fucking Twitch. I'm not gonna lie. I went into his Twitch. I followed him and I dropped.
Dave was trolling him in Twitch.
He fucking ignored me.
Yeah.
He just fucking ignored it. But I know you saw it. I know you fucking saw it, dude.
My goodness, I got Dave on fire. I like fired up Dave. It's fun. All right, let's get to our review this week, boys. And we are going to start with quarterbacks. So, any guesses before I bring it up? The number one quarterback of the league, or of the week, I mean.
Purdy or Gino, right?
Yeah, Purdy.
Question. It's either Purdy,
Gino.
Yeah.
Gino on my team this week. What a great pickup for me, except I didn't win. But anyway. But it's actually an interesting top 10. You had Geno Smith, Brock Purdy, Dak Prescott, Jake Browning, Trevor Lawrence, Jalen Hurts. All you need is Jordan Love, Matthew Stafford, Sam Howell. Dave, look, Tua Tagovailoa is in the top 10. How do you
Look, he fucking did something. There we go.
See, he listened to you last week.
Russell Westbrook Wilson, Gardner Minshew. There is your top 12. Joe Flacco was sitting right under there, too. I didn't even realize that. Look at the Flack man. Yeah, so I think that's an interesting top 10. My quick take is don't buy into Geno at all. The reason I started him in the Fantasy Football Bros this week is because A, I needed a quarterback, and B, I knew he was playing Dallas, and I felt it was going to be a shootout, and I was right. Jake Browning, don't buy it. I don't think I buy it. Do you guys buy it?
I don't buy it, no.
Probably
I don't buy it either.
But, I mean, is there anything to the fact that he's been meh, he's been all right, and then he had a big
he's
game.
completing like 81% of his passes, so it's pretty good.
He's got
Yeah.
weapons. He's definitely got
My
weapons.
thing is, too, I was just going to say, he's got all three of his wide receivers back, so I think that makes it a lot easier for him.
And Joe Mixon's good.
I wouldn't write him off, but there's obviously better quarterbacks out there that you'd start, and like you're
I
not
think he's
sitting
someone to keep an
Mahomes
eye on.
for him. You're not sitting Josh Allen for him.
No.
Like
I think he's someone to keep
I think
an eye
it was
on.
a one and done to be that high, but I think he'll still put up some numbers. He'll be like Jordan Love. Like he'll come out in the first half and be shit, and then throw up 20 points.
I think it has a lot to do with where we are in the fantasy season too. Like if we're sitting week 8 and it's like, I'll give Browning a shot, but like you guys said, we're getting into fantasy playoffs. Like, are you comfortable with Browning, like slotting Browning into your lineup for fantasy playoff?
I guess it depends on where we are, Dave. Like the league that you had Burrow and then Lawrence. Like I know you're probably out of the playoffs in that league, but what's your move in that situation? You know, like,
I mean, Browning, I guess.
Than Browning, right?
Yeah, probably at this point, yeah.
Yeah, right. I don't know. I don't buy into the whole Browning thing.
I mean,
right
in our league, Browning's probably the best quarterback that's out there right now because I looked already.
Right. So, like, look at all these quarterbacks in this in our league we're in. They're all owned. Browning's on a team. Love's on a team, but Love's been doing good. Russell Wilson's on a team. Gardner Minshew's on a team. Everybody's on a fucking team except Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
Can we look at where Mahomes is?
He had a bye. Oh no, they had the bye week.
Might as well
last
have
week.
had a bye.
You skipped him.
Oh, you're right. He didn't.
Where did it?
It's like right there, 14 points.
Oh, 14.
Right above the little fella.
Probably week, probably 14 on the week, 15 on the week.
Yeah.
Trash.
I never want to see people do bad, but I kind of love it. I kind of love just seeing, like, not seeing Patrick Mahomes at the top of this list every week.
It's definitely kind of nice, especially for, the fucking Bills' sake.
Yeah.
Outplayed.
It's kind of nice.
Outplayed by
Literally.
Joe Flacco, who was watching games on his couch 2 weeks ago.
Well, I just meant in the actual game. Everybody was like, "Oh, it's Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs against poor widow Packers with Jordan Love, poor widow Packers without Aaron Rodgers. Oh, those poor widow Packers. Packers fucking crushed them, just like they crushed Detroit. Like Packers are the the hottest team in football right now.
Definitely could be argued for sure.
It could be argued. Yeah, it could be argued.
I mean, it's just serious. I'm not a
I'm not going to go ahead and say yes, but I can definitely see an argument for it.
I'm not a Packers fan.
They've been playing well.
They have a 3-game winning streak against the Chargers, the Lions, and the Chiefs. I mean, that's pretty good. And before that, they lost to the Steelers at the end of the game and beat the Rams. And that's right when they kicked it in because they were not doing so well in the middle there. So, the Packers might be the hottest team in football. Like, I mean, the Lions did win, so it feels like the Lions have solidified winning that division. But the Packers could be fighting for a playoff berth still. So, just an interesting take. Mitch, please, had 7 points. Your boy, and he's starting this week.
Herb's had 7 points too.
Oh, I know. What? How could this man, Justin Herbert, my guy at the beginning of the year, start off on fire and then just disappear? Herbert for the year. 20, 22, 29, 24, 20, 12, 24, 7, 29, 25, 14, 7. Like, what is happening?
I don't know. They're just in a I feel like the whole team's in a downward spiral.
Yeah.
It's cold.
Because you can see Keenan Allen is still doing great. He's still a great wide receiver on the year, but we're not seeing those big games from Keenan Allen either. The whole team is just on a downward spiral of just not producing. Well, I don't know why.
That's definitely a coaching issue.
Keenan wasn't good this week. Last week he was good, but it was just because he had 11 receptions. Just because he was peppered, because he's their only option. Did Mike Williams mean that much to this team? Because they haven't been the same.
I mean, they really haven't, and I don't understand why.
Yeah.
Well, I think their coach is awful. As much as we give Sean McDermott,
I can't stand Brandon Staley. Oh my God, he drives me nuts.
My buddy's a Chargers fan, and I always tell him there's no team in the NFL that can lose a game like the Chargers. It's just incredible at how they lose football games. It really is.
It really is.
It's always something so stupid that you're just like, I cannot believe that happened and you lost the game because of that. It's insane.
100%.
Well, it comes from because Brandon Staley was the toast of the town and everybody's favorite coach because he's the analytics guy. He was one of the first guys that were flaunting the analytics chart of when to go for it on fourth.
Let's go for it on fourth. Yeah, I agree. But a lot of those, and those are exactly what Dave's talking about. Is those decisions that he made were the ones that cost them games at the end, and it's So some computer told you that it was okay to go for it on fourth down, but you didn't make it. Where's the execution there? So those calls and not obviously not kicking or punting at whatever yard line. It's man, it's so hard to watch the Chargers because they do have such great players on there. And you just watch them not produce, and of course, for fantasy owners like us who have stock in all these guys, it's what is happening? And I know we're gonna get into it with Dave, but somebody who Austin Eckler, who loves his fantasy owners,
I'm so great,
is not doing anything for them.
Stay tuned.
Staley should study the analytics of how many times he's lost a game by 2 points because he's a dum-dum.
Oh my God!
There's a lot there. That he might be number one on the list for that one.
Yeah.
Somebody better call from our league's fireman John because Dave has thrown some heat out today, bro. All right, your number one wide receiver of the week is Deebo Samuel, followed very closely by DK Metcalf. A 0.4 difference. That'd be 4 yards, folks. 4 yard difference. Tyreek Hill, Nico Collins, Jamar Chase, CeeDee Lamb, Mike Evans, Christian Watson, who I believe is dead, right?
Yep.
Michael Pittman Jr., Dave's boy Puka Nacua, and then 2 Eagles to round out the top 12 in Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. And just a couple of names that are creeping up here that should be discussed because they're interesting is 13. We got Adam's boy, Alec Pierce. 14.
Coming out,
yes.
Boy.
Finally, he makes an impact on a game. Jesus.
But here's a name for you guys. I don't know if you can see it. Parker Washington. What team does he play for?
No idea.
Hang on. Parker Washington, guys.
Shit. Yeah.
Well, he's your top 15 wide receiver from Jacksonville.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Forgot about that.
Yeah, right. Exactly. The names in the top 10, Deebo, Deebo's Deebo. Deebo and DK Metcalf are the same guy. They're up and down. You're going to get 40-point weeks. You're going to get 6-point weeks. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
No.
Not at all.
They're the same guy. They are the same guy. Tyreek Hill's always showing up. Nico's always been showing up. But here's a guy I want to talk about. Jamar Chase, 33 points with Mr. Browning. Is this guy quarterback proof?
For 1 week? I don't know.
It's been 3 weeks. I mean, he didn't have a 33-point week, but let's see. Since Browning's had 3 starts, right? 9.2, whatever, 12, and 33. So he's got a touchdown in 2 of the 3 games. 2 of the 3 games.
But
if we take away the 75-yard...
Yeah.
If we take away the 75-yard touchdown, it looks a little different.
I'm not calling him quarterback proof with a 9 and a 12-point game for a first-round pick. Sorry, it's just not going to happen.
I mean, I don't consider 9 against Baltimore bad. I mean, it could have been better, but it's Baltimore and Pittsburgh. It's
There's
not like they're
been
bad
receivers that have had way better games than Jamar Chase against Baltimore.
But okay, how about 9 points against Cleveland and 8 points against Baltimore with the savior Joey B? It seems like he just has a hard time in division. Maybe he has a hard time in division because I don't know. I'm just wondering because 2 out of 3 weeks he's got a touchdown. Dave, you want to take away that one big pass? Okay, go. That's totally fine. Then he still had 10 receptions for 80 yards. Right? Like that's still a good game, right?
Still a great game. At this point, I would, I don't know. Touchdown proof is a little strong. I'm not worried about Jamar Chase. I'm obviously not sitting Jamar Chase.
I'm not worried about it either.
I'm not worried about it, but I think there's still a little bit of like, when when that game starts, you're like, I really hope he shows up. You know what I mean? I don't think it's a set it and forget it like Jamar Chase should be.
I think him and JJ are the same aspects. If they are set it and forget it, because you know what? Even if they can't have that 75-yard touchdown, they got young, inexperienced quarterbacks in there. They're their number 1 alpha receiver. Then if these guys turn into Christian Kirk and just get 9 receptions for 80 yards and happen to score a touchdown, still a good game. If they turn into a PPR guy.
I think the worry for me would be Browning. It's not Jamar Chase that I worry about. It'd be who's throwing him the ball. And we saw Joe Burrow struggle early on in the season, and he kind of found it a little bit. And now Jake Browning comes in, and he has a great game against Jacksonville.
What if Jake Browning is the new Brock Purdy? And what if Jake Browning all of a sudden everyone's like, they gave all this money to Joe Burrow. They got Jake Browning. What if that's going to happen now? What if is that a thing? We'll have to see.
I mean, sure, it's all speculation.
I wouldn't bet my last dollar on it.
I wouldn't bet on that happening at all. Especially during fantasy playoffs, and especially if they're trying to make a run for the playoffs. Like
they are trying to make a run for the playoffs.
They did have a really good win against Jacksonville, which was nice. But Trevor Lawrence did get hurt, so they dealt with a backup quarterback for the remainder of that game on Monday night. I don't know.
Your number.
I don't disagree that you shouldn't sit Jamar Chase, right? Don't sit Jamar Chase. Like he's not a guy that should be on your bench. But like I said, the question was, is he quarterback proof? I don't know.
All right. Well, your number 1 running back on the week is Joe Mixon. Number 2 is Alvin Kamara. Number 3 is Devin Achane, Derrick Henry, James Conner, Chuba Hubbard, and then we've got Isaiah.
Man, I see a lot of my running backs up there. That's crazy.
Isaiah Pacheco, Kyron Williams, Rashad White, Travis Etienne, and out of the graveyard still Tony Pollard. So, yeah, you've got, 3 there in the top 12?
Sure do.
Dave's the number 1 guy. Let's make Dave so happy.
It had to be good at something. So, too little, too late. The story of my life.
Dave, or Jay, your boy Kyron still there?
Yeah.
Kyron ain't going nowhere.
Nope.
Another 20-point week.
I think real quick, the real question is how are we feeling about ATN? He fine?
he's so hard to judge. Are you talking about if he's going to be healthy or?
Yeah.
Let's see what their latest update is.
So, do we have an update on Trevor Lawrence? I haven't even seen anything. Did he tear anything? Is he?
It was a high ankle sprain. They said he was like. They said he might play, but they're not sure.
But it's not it's not one that needs surgery.
Yeah.
So
that's fine.
Any surprises in this? I'll tell you what. Joe Mixon is your number one running back. Yes, it's a surprise, but keep firing up, guys, because they got Jake Browning. They're going to run the ball more.
Yep.
So I agree. Keep firing him up. Always fire up.
I mean, he threw a lot against Jacksonville, so I don't know if that's going to happen every week, but I agree. I think they're going to hand off a lot more, and they certainly did, especially in the red zone. So,
Devon Achane, you have to start him if you have him, unless you just have so much better options. He has to be in your lineup at least as your flex because this man is just electric. 25 points. I mean, he had a bunch.
Why'd you say it like that?
Electric. That's how it's spelled, bro.
Electric.
He is electric. It's electric. Boogie, boogie,
I don't disagree. I was just saying how you said it.
I'm pretty sure he's averaging somewhere around 2 points a touch. 2 points a touch for the year. That's insane.
Yeah, he's got some pretty good numbers for the year.
That's insane.
If that injury didn't stop him for 5 games, or whatever it was.
Dave, here's a quick
right
question. Up there. Next year, as of right now, Devin Achane, is he a first-round fantasy football pick?
I think it depends on what they do with Mostert. If they cut ties and they say, Achane's our guy, definite first round. I wouldn't even if they don't commit to him though. I would say probably third round. At the latest.
Yeah. Sorry, Dave. I don't mean to interrupt. I got to take this phone call real quick. It was for me.
I think no matter what they do with Mostert, I think he is a first-round pick because the running backs are trash. He's so electric, and he's so electric. The running backs are trash, and Mostert's going to be 32 or 33 next year. So even if he is the starter, he's going to fucking so.
I believe that. It's just hard to take a first-round running back that's even assumed to be in a timeshare at the start of the season. Don't you think?
Okay, so if you're talking about Achane like that, why not Kyren Williams? Is he a first-round pick next year?
I don't know if Karen's a first.
They already cut ties with their running backs.
I don't know if Karen's a first. He's probably second. I mean, you got to think. There's only going to be
what makes him different from Achane?
You would take Karen over Achane? That's a good question. Would you would take Karen over Achane?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. What about you, Dave?
And the reason being is the quarterback.
If Miami commits to Achane, I would take Achane over Kyren. If they don't, though, I'm probably with Adam. I'm going to go Kyren because I know it's a safer play, and you know that I'm a wuss, and I want a safe play as my first round pick, and I feel like Kyren would be a safer play.
I just am not afraid. I don't know why we're getting into next year right now. Jay, which one are you? I'm sure you're Kyren because that's your man crush.
Yeah, Kyren.
Yeah, I figured. I don't need them to commit to Achane and say that he's the guy over Raheem Mostert, who's been injured all the time, is about to be 33 years old. Because by next year, Achane's not a rookie anymore. So
neither's Kyren.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So it's like, so I'm going to take the running back from the Dolphins, who are the best offense in the NFL, over the running back from the Rams, who are a mid to lower offense in the NFL. Right? I mean, I guess that's just the way I boil down with it at that point, is all. But they'll probably be right around each other.
Leave Kyren to me, buddy. I'll take him all day.
That's fine. Because there's only probably going to be, with the way people are receivers, you're probably going to get 3 running backs in the first round next year. Christian. And then who would be next? Would it be Achane? I wouldn't be surprised. It's not going to be Eckler. It's not going to be, probably not going to be Bijan. It's not going to be Tony Pollard. It's not going to be Derrick Henry.
This is Eckler's last season with the Chargers, though, so I guess it would depend on where he goes, if he's still up there or not.
I think he's too old, maybe, but you never know. I mean, he'll be like 30 next year, 29. This is like Derrick Henry's age, right? So if we're thinking Derrick Henry's old, don't we have to think Eckler's getting old?
Well, no one's saying he's not getting old, but
I'm putting my money down right now. Austin Eckler is not a top 2 pick next year. I think that's easy to say, especially after this year. All right, we'll move into the top tight ends really quick and get out of here because who cares? Sammy Laporta, what a guy. What a 29 points. This fucking guy. Evan Ingram, who? Where the hell's he been? 23 points. One of my steals on free agency of Trey McBride, 22 points. Jake Ferguson, a steal for Adam, 19 points. Harrison Bryant, Taysom Hill, Travis Kelce at 12, George Kittle, and Kyron Granson. Like, who fucking cares?
What a steal on Laporta, though.
What a steal. Laporta's a steal. And I'll tell you what, McBride, I think, is a steal. Right? I know Laporta's like on a different level. Right. Laporta's been doing it all year. But let's quickly just look over Trey McBride's last few games. Trey McBride since week 8, 25, 5, 21, 9, 13, and 22. Guys, I know we see that 5 in there. Throw it out, whatever. We see that 9 in there. We're usually happy with 9 points from a tight end.
For real.
So the fact that if you throw out 5, the guys had over 20 points 3 times, plus a 13-point game. Like, awesome. And, of course, Sam Laporta's on a whole different level. Sam
Laporta's really good.
Yeah.
I love the way he runs routes, and it just gets open.
And I'll tell you, I gave Detroit some smoke, and I usually do, for taking Laporta over Michael Mayer. But to be fair, Michael Mayer's not being used. So, who knows? But tell me Sam Laporta's not Dan Campbell kind of guy. Just a big, bumbly guy, right?
Yeah.
And he's loving him and using him. So, and Taysom Hill was back from the dead, and he'll be dead next week. Let's just for funsies. Top kicker is Brandon Aubrey.
Whatever.
And the top defense is, who is it? The Chargers? Indy. Indy was the top defense.
Who cares?
Chargers were third. Okay, so there is that. So we'll get back to our full screen here.
Hey, nice to see you guys again.
Hey. So do you guys think that Sam Laporta is going to be a top what? 2 tight end next year? What about a top? Here's a scary food for thought. What if Sam Laporta is TE1 next year? Kelsey's only going to be older.
I think he's going to be TE3.
Yeah,
because people are still going to be riding the Kelsey high.
Okay, people are dumb.
But
and they're going to go Kelsey. They're still going to go Mark Andrews. They're still going to go T.J. Hawkinson over him. Why
on earth? Here, I'm not arguing you. I say I can understand people taking Kelsey first. I understand. He's also going to be a year older. But why this Mark Andrews worship? I don't
have an answer.
I don't even like him.
I just know how people draft, and he is always the next tight end picked after Kelsey.
Always.
He's been that way for like 5 years.
Yeah,
I'll give you Hawkinson, but I don't know. I think Kelsey's shown. I mean, he's still great, but I think he's shown he's declining a little, right? I mean,
sure, but that decline also comes with Patrick Mahomes declining a little bit because he has not had a good season.
Sure, but like,
it's still a good season. Don't get me wrong, but it's not fantasy good season.
Still great. I don't know. I think there's a chance that people might look at Laporta, put him number 1. I mean, next year, your top 5 in tight ends drafted could be, folks, Travis Kelce, Sam Laporta, Dalton Kincaid, and then whomever else. It very well could be. It just...
yeah. I mean, maybe. We'll see how the season shakes out.
It's fantasy football, man. We've all been around it for so long, and like we just know who's going to be picked. Okay, Sam Laporta is fantastic, and you better believe if he's there, I'm going to take him because I ended up picking him up off waivers in one of my leagues, and he is killing it. But he's just, I don't know. He hasn't been consistent enough for me to want to pick him over those other guys. And neither has anybody else.
I don't have an answer.
I get that.
I don't have this answer, so I'm cueing you these guys. Sam Laporta or Travis Kelce? Granted, Kelce missed a game, but who has more points this year? Just Jay.
Laporta.
What do you think? Laporta. Dave, what do you think?
Yeah, Laporta's got more points.
I don't even know. Kelsey's got 191. Kelce has 191.
Maybe it is Kelce then still.
And
I
then-
don't know.
And then Laporta's got 171. So Kelsey's still having the better year. With missing a game, to be fair. So, just food for thought, right?
Yeah, I mean, Kansas City still doesn't have any receivers, so it's always going to be Kelce until they get a receiver.
True.
I think you do have to factor in also, though, that, obviously Casey started the year with Travis Kelce as the guy. Sam Laporta didn't get that clout until deeper into the season. I mean, they weren't looking at him the way that, Mahomes looks at Kelce from in week one.
Right.
It just wasn't happening.
For sure.
So
very true.
For sure.
Full season of being the guy, I mean, maybe that kind of evens out.
Well, that'll be our big debate next year. It's a lot more exciting than Pat Fryermuth versus Kyle Pitts. That's where we were at the beginning of this season.
Jesus.
So, all right, you know what, guys? Let's have a little fun.
Instead of swinging, Darby goes down the middle. Slam dunk.
Get dunked on, bro.
Let's start with you, Zags.
I'm going to take a real quick victory lap, and I'm going to shout out, Mr. Joe Mick.
Dunk, bro.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Are you listening?
I'm sorry.
Pay attention, buddy.
I'm sorry, boys. I'm sorry. I was sleepy.
He's so angry right now that he's confused.
I'm gonna keep it.
Hang on,
I'm gonna
Dave,
keep it.
here's
Go
Dave's
ahead. Go ahead. Hit me. Go ahead.
What? I have no idea.
All right, Dave. Who are you dunking on?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, my dunk of the week. I'm going to go out there and say that Mr. Austin Eckler will not be a second running back next season or any season after that, because the man is fucking dead to me, and I will never draft you ever fucking again. Ever.
Yes.
Ever. I don't care what. I don't care if you learn how to play quarterback and you are. I'm done. I'm done with Austin Eckler. The man is dead. You can fucking. I hope your Twitch career takes off, because your football career is in the fucking dumpster.
Well, and Dave has very specific reasons. I believe you have him in 3 leagues, Dave. Is this
3
true?
leagues. I have him in
So you
3
took him in the
leagues.
first round in 3 leagues.
In 3 leagues, took him.
Oof.
Yep. Yeah. You're dead to me. You're dead to me, bro.
Made the smart move, and I ended up actually in one of my leagues. I drafted Eckler as well. Actually, I kept him from the year before, but I ended up trading him away for a first-round pick. So, go me.
To draft Austin Eckler next year.
Like, let's really talk about it for 1 second. Like, are we at the point where Austin Eckler needs to be benched? Like, do we need to bench Austin Eckler from your lineup?
I think it
It's
depends.
so hard.
I think it's okay. I mean, so at this point, I'm looking at Austin Eckler as a flex. I mean, so like if you're thinking of benching Eckler as your 2 running backs, like, do you have 2 running backs better than him? You probably do. I mean, if you're looking at some of these later running backs like Kyron Williams that we're talking about, Achane, I'm starting both of them over Eckler. I'm starting David Montgomery over Eckler. I'm starting James Conner over Austin Eckler, right? Like, that's not crazy.
So in this league, I have Austin Eckler, Kyron Williams, and Isaiah Pacheco. Are you benching Eckler?
Yes.
Yeah.
So to me, he moves into the flex, and at that point, you probably have got a better flex. So you probably you've got Amari Cooper.
Kyron Williams and Isaiah Pacheco would be my RB1, RB2 if I bench Eckler.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, you have to.
It's crazy, right? It's absolutely crazy that I'm thinking about benching my first round pick.
It is a wild thought in the fantasy world. It's a crazy take, because you did draft him in the first round. It's like, but you also have to be a smart fantasy manager and hey, okay, this guy hasn't done anything for me. It might be time to sit down. I mean, at least warrant a flex play. But like Chaz said, you probably do have better flex options than that.
Dave, if he's sitting there looking at your flex and you've got Amari Cooper healthy, which one are you going to play? I feel like that's a good line right there.
That's a good. I mean, I don't know. I'm probably still going Eckler because I don't know. It's my first round pick, and I just like it's annoying that I have to make this decision. But it's like in this real league, I have Puka, so I have AJ Brown, CD Lamb, and Puka, right? So my flex would either be Puka or Austin Eckler. Like, where are we going?
Puka.
Well, I mean, this week's easy because Puka's out, so.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I don't know. It's just
weeks
the whole
prior
thing
to that,
is.
yeah, I agree. It's tough to.
But that league you're talking about half point PPR, so it might, right? That's your league?
Yeah.
So that would veer more towards Eckler. And here's the thing, guys. Here's Dave's vitriol here about this. He's fired up and so mad at Austin Eckler way more than he is than the league that he took Bijan Robinson. As much as he's, but I mean, am I wrong? Though you're way more fired up and mad at Austin Eckler.
Oh yeah, no, 1,000%.
Yeah,
I break your balls about Bijan. I'm genuinely mad about Eckler.
Yeah. And you should be. I mean, you should be. And that's not me rubbing it in for seeing it coming. That's me like, I would be. I mean, that's comparative to how much better is he than drafting Nick Chubb, who got hurt in the first week? You know, like, sure, he's a little better, but like.
Here's my dilemma this week. You ready for this one? Here's my running backs. I have Kyron Williams, obviously start, right? I have Bijan Robinson. I have Ken Walker and Zach Charbonnet, and I also have Rashad White.
I think you got to fire White up. White's been really consistent.
Dude, he's been so good, but that means I have to sit. I have to sit Bijan, and I've done that. I did that last week. I ended up winning, but it could have been by a lot more if I would have started Bijan with his 27
points.
What
I would say in that situation for you is if you need the points, go with Bijan. Bijan will have a bigger game if he has a big game. But if you just need a steady floor, if you need your 14 to 16 points, then go with White because White will get it because of the balls he's been catching.
My wide receivers, my wide receivers are Stephon Diggs, Keenan Allen, Cooper Kupp. So it's either Bijan or Rashad White. Those are my options.
I mean, obviously, I'm going to go Bijan. Why don't you give us your dunk?
My dunk this week. Good God, the NFL and their schedule maker. And the reason I say that is because why on not tonight's game. Why on fucking earth would you give us a doubleheader on Monday night and put it at the same time?
Yeah,
we have two games Monday night, and I'll tell you what they are because they're not really that great. I believe
Green Bay against the Giants.
Green Bay against the Giants, and we also have Tennessee against Miami, which is fine. I like to see Miami, whatever.
Tighten up.
At the same fucking time, 8:15, they both start, and like, are you expecting people to have like a double feature going on to watch both at the same time, or are they picking one or the other? Like, in the beginning of the season, it's great, right? You have one game that starts at 6:15, and then the other one starts at 8:15, right? You got 2 hours. At least you're watching, the fourth quarter in one game, and you're going into the first quarter in the other game. Like, but now these are at the same exact time, and I just don't understand what their logic is for it. And as a football fan, I love to watch football, right? Like, I will be one of those guys that has the double feature on if I have it available.
Well, I'll tell you what, you're fired up about
it's so
that.
Annoying. It's so annoying, and not to mention the fucking game tomorrow night or tonight or whenever you guys are listening to this is the Patriots and the Steelers.
Bailey Zappi versus Mitch Please.
Mitch Trubisky. And Najee Harris is questionable to play, so we might not even see him. It might be the Jalen Warren show. And Ramondre Stevenson is gone. It's just going to be a fucking snooze fest tomorrow night. And now I have to decide which game I want to watch. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's probably going to be Tennessee-Miami.
Whoever you have more fantasy players in.
That's literally what it's going to come down to. Who do I want to watch more? Who is on my fantasy team that I need to watch? The NFL, man, get it together with the scheduling and figure it out.
Very, very nice. Guys, before I get to your dunk, Jay, I forgot about one big major news for the week. All of us are idiots because we forgot. I'm back!
Double J here again.
He's back officially. Yeah. Double J's back. We forgot.
Oh, yeah, they activated.
Put him in your lineup, guys. Like, of course. Like, give him a chance. Yes, he doesn't have Kirk Cousins, but look what Jamar Chase is doing with Jake Browning. You know,
Josh Dobbs hasn't been that bad. So
they were talking about benching Dobbs. But they did say Dobbs
They're not benching Dobbs, dude. Stop.
They were talking about it. But all right, Jake, go ahead for your dunk.
My dunk is the New York Jets, and they're just I don't even know. They're a train wreck,
dumpster fire.
Dude, like, yeah. I don't know how many times you can bench your starting quarterback and then go back to him and be like, please, can you start again for us? And then be like, you're benched this week, and then the next week they're like, can you please come back and play for us? And they cut their old starting QB. Oh my! It's a fucking train wreck.
Hey, Aaron Rodgers, how you doing? You gonna come back and play?
No.
All right. Okay. Very well. I mean, it's hard to beat that one, you guys.
I love how Aaron Rodgers was saying, like, oh, there's no downside to coming back. Like, what about the downside of being a part of this abysmal fucking football team? How about that?
Yeah, for real.
Oh boy. Well, my dunk is going to get personal. And I'm getting personal with two players because I had the chance to solidify a playoff spot and in the Fantasy Football Bros League. By the way, folks, I'm hanging on for dear life in the Fantasy Football Bros. Not for dear life. There's a good chance I make the playoffs, but I'm sitting at the sixth spot, which is the last playoff spot, with the second most points in the fucking league. So it's just a weird, time. And as of going into last week, I was first point.
Hey,
I go up.
I don't know if you looked at the standings. You don't have that asterisk next to your name yet, bud. You got to win this week.
I do have a chance to lose. I do. But anyway,
no, you don't. I'm looking at it right now. You don't have the asterisk, buddy.
No, I don't. I said I have a chance to lose and make
I thought you said you do. I'm like, wait, what? What are you looking at?
But here's where I'm going. I'm going up against the number one team in the league this year, Saints Joe. And number one team in the league, meaning I have more points than him, but still he's got the better.
Are you talking about the other league, or are you talking about the Fantasy Football Bros League?
No, Fantasy Football Bros League. I go against
St. Joe's this week.
I'm talking about last week. Get off.
Dude, you are confusing the fuck of me.
All right. Anyway, I'm talking about last week. So I'm going up against Saints Joe and to chance to solidify my playoff spot, knock him out of first place, which whatever would have been nice. Adam would appreciate that, I'm sure. I have more points than the kid all year. He has got a better record. So this motherfucker, Saints Joe, I'm talking to you, bro. You waltz in to my fucking bye week with Josh Allen on the bye week, with Stephon Diggs on the bye week, with fucking Jonathan Taylor with his fucking pinky hurt, and I lose the top three fucking players. Boom. So I'm pulling out from garbage heap off the pile. Geno Smith. Put that motherfucker in. Bro lights it up and is the number one quarterback on the league. Joe fucking GG'd me Thursday night because of my Geno Smith performance. So I'm sitting here pretty. I'm like, all right, I got all my guys. I'm going to do good. Bam! Trey McBride, 25 points or something. Things are looking good. Things are looking up. And then we've got my boy, DeAndre Swift. All right, thank you very much for DeAndre Swift. But I can still make it. Your boy, Devontae Smith had a big game. So I'm living. I got 2 flex spots to play. 2 of them. I got Hollywood Brown, and I got fucking Christian Kirk. I only need like 20 points from these 2 motherfucking players. And Hollywood Brown got me a total of 0. And Christian Kirk, the first play of the game, breaks his dick in half and misses the rest of the game. So between those 2 motherfucking players, I got 3 fucking points and made me lose to Saints Joe. It kept Adam out of first fucking place. It keeps me hanging on by a thread to make the playoffs this week. So fuck Hollywood Brown, fuck Christian Kirk. Those 2 were my 2 flex guys that I thought was like, I'm solid. Because this guy is my flex 3, meaning like both of those guys would be my flex 4, one or the other. That's a great second flex, either one of those guys. Well, the one's dead, and the other one is dead to me. So that's where that is. And
I mean,
get fired.
I am going to avenge you this week, and I will beat Saints Joe. You heard it here first on the podcast.
Well, here's the thing, guys. I
am taking over first place.
I'm playing the last place team in the league's real camping superstar, Zach Sabato. And that how apropos that he's going to beat me. Justin Jefferson is coming back this fucking week. I mean, it's just apropos that I'm going to lose and miss out on the playoffs because of fucking Zach Sabato's boot-ass team because he's got Jefferson coming back this week. So that's my pick. So that's
you want to know what's crazy? In the Fantasy Football Bros League, 5 playoff positions are solidified. And then in our Lackawanna League, Chaz, only 2 spots are solidified.
But I'm one of them.
Crazy.
Dude, it's
a tight race.
And, Jay, you're saying that 5 spots are solidified in the Fantasy Football Bros League. I'm sitting at 6. Goose is right behind me with the same record. And then there's 3 other people with 1 less win. So, depending on how this week shakes, basically, I win, I'm in. But, I could still lose and make it, or I could... You get jumped. It's crazy this week, how this week finishes.
But I think you're not solidified in the Lackawanna League, by the way.
Oh, I'm not? Okay,
yeah, you
close,
could.
though.
We both could. Me and Chaz in that league are 3rd and 4th, but their teams 3 through 8 could all end up with the same record after this week. So
it's ridiculous.
Wow.
And I'm pretty sure, Jay, in that league, to toot my own horn in both of these leagues, I'm number 1 in points in them. So, go me. I'm having a good, decent year. And I'm still hanging on for dear life. It just doesn't make any sense. What a weird fucking year.
I mean, you can't be too mad at Christian Kirk, bro. He broke his dick.
Sure did. He's got to get surgery. This motherfucker's got to get surgery. And since we've got a keeper league, I can't fucking drop him. I can't put him on IR because his fucking Jonathan Taylor's dick is broken sitting there. So I can't put him on IR. So now I got to have this fucking herb clogging up my bench. And, do I drop him? What's his draft value next year? I drafted him in the 7th, 8th round. There's going to be value to be had with Christian Kirk. I think he'll be higher than a 7th round draft pick. But I don't know if I'm going to keep him. But I don't want to put him out, you know what I mean, off my roster right now either. So it's just a weird, oh my goodness. Let's move on to something a little more positive.
Time for a victory lap.
Let me continue because I know I'm talking about all my other leagues, but I'm in 5 leagues. I count 4 of them. You always hear me say that. I got my 4 main ones, and then the 5th one that I just joined to help a friend out who needed another guy. I mean, I'm still paying for that league, but I'm not as into it. And you guys know what I mean. Do you guys probably have leagues that you are that's one at the end of the bench, right?
Yeah, I have one league that's not as much as the other leagues, and I'm like, if I lose that one, it's okay. Right, so, I really want the big money ones.
And this one is still $100 buy-in, but still, it's just in the other 4 leagues, it's the one's the family league, the 2 leagues that we are in, and then Dave's league. So it's they're all I know these guys. We get together for drafts and stuff. So anyway, out of all 5 leagues, I am in basically guaranteed winning in the playoffs, and I could still make them all if I lose with certain things happen. So if I go 5-0 this week, I'm 5-0 in the playoffs. So I don't have to go 5-0 either to make all 5. So it's a good position to be in. So I'm taking a victory lap on that. I'm not there yet, but I'm so close. I've never been hanging on this close in all 5 leagues. I'm either locked up, ready to go, or looking up at the fucking ground with my arms sticking out of the fucking gravestone. So and it's a testament to how the league is. But I play with good players too. I play with good people, and everyone's pretty good. We all look like we're mid because everybody's good, and that's what it is. So that's my victory lap. Dave, what do you got?
I'll keep mine short and sweet. I'm gonna go with Mr. Joe Mixon this week. I was high. I was high on Joe Mixon this year. Not super high. I didn't think he was gonna be an RB1 or anything like that. But I was a lot higher than where I was seeing him go.
The preceding presentation has been brought to you by the Gear Network.